Hello and welcome to my channel Perfect Pastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the south of England with my husband and my 3 dogs. And they're all having their after breakfast snooze, except, well, especially Willow, so you might hear her snoring. So how is everybody? I am over the moon with having so many new subscribers. Thank you so much for coming to join me. I hope you like what you see and want to hang around. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to press the like button. It doesn't cost anything, it doesn't do any harm, but it does my channel great good. And if you want to join me more often, then there's the subscribe button on the other side, and it would be lovely to have you along. I don't post an awful lot. I'm once a month, maybe twice a month. Depends what I have on the needles or on the hook or in my sewing or whatever I'm making. So I'm very grateful for you to join me. Welcome, and welcome to everybody who's come back to watch me. I'm grateful. How have you all been? Have you had a good week? Have you had a good couple of weeks? I've been mostly in the garden because we've had a lovely few days of weather, and it is certainly warming up. It's currently raining. You can probably just hear it on the roof of the conservatory, and I'm sorry if it is evident, but I'm taking this opportunity while I can to actually film for you. Yes, over the weekend we had temperatures in the higher double figures, in the higher teens. So I was out there most of the time. I did manage to do a little bit of sitting and knitting, but not very much because there was weeds to sort and seeds to plant. So I had a wonderful time out there. I have been listening to the Dawn Chorus early in the morning every day, and we're very fortunate here that we have an awful lot of birds. We're surrounded by fields, and our little property has high hedges, lots of trees, shrubs. So we do have an awful lot of bird life. In one of my previous videos you will have seen, I do have lots of bird feeders, which helps them quite a bit. And down my conservatory workroom here is down the side of the house, in a dead zone of the house, and it's 3 meters by 5 meters, well, so it's 3.5 meters by 6 meters, 5.5 meters, 6 meters conservatory. And just down here is another little alleyway that you can just see that's our fence there, and there's a 4-foot alleyway there because our oil tank's at the bank, so we need access. There's a little courtyard out that door, and a lot of the birds find this little area quite a safe haven. And we've had blackbirds nesting, robins nesting, dunnocks nesting, and the blackbirds are quite happy to nest in the quince or the holly there, and sometimes we get 2 nests worth. But here I also have a little robin nest box, and the nest box fell to pieces the year before last, in 2023. So John rebuilt it and we put it up, and nothing happened last year, which was a bit sad. But the past couple of weeks I've had an awful lot of activity, and if I turn you slightly you can just see it. You see, there it is there. And all along the front here has been leaves and bits of twig and everything you can think of being put in and moved and redeployed. And now, I don't know if I can zoom in on the video. No, I can't. Now it is beautifully padded with moss and has a very nice gentle curve. I'll put in a couple of little pictures of the close-ups of it. And there's little robins going in and out. They don't seem to mind me. I don't take any notice of them. Well, apart from a few sneaky beaks. So hopefully we'll have progress on the little nest soon for you. I also have some sparrow flats just above my window here, and it's constantly manic with sparrows. but those sparrow flats, there's 3 holes and they've nested in them for years, and it's just, you can hear all the sparrows there. It's just birdie chaos just outside my window. So I thought you'd like to see that. I will keep you up to date with how the chicks come along, and if we do get chicks, that is, anyway. What else have I been doing? I have a friend who is also a trustee of the rescue, GSP, German Shorthair Pointer Rescue, and she lost her beautiful Hobbs 2.5 years ago. Old age, sadly. And she still has a younger dog, Dimple, who's 11. She's the same age as Willow. And she didn't want another dog. She was sort of toying with it, but Dimple was quite enjoying being an only dog. And she's quite particular about the dog that she wanted. And I said to her, don't try looking for a dog. I find dogs, and probably cats too, always find you at the right time. They do, Willow, yes. You did as well. Willow is a rescue. So I said to her not to try too hard. A dog will come up when it's ready. Well, she had a call, a plea from a lady who'd had an accidental pregnancy with her pointer, and she had 3 puppies. She managed to get two of the bitches gone to friends and her sister, and could not find a nice home for the little boy. Well, as you can imagine, fate happened and Nat went to see the little boy to get all his details, and she is now the proud owner of Jake. And we went up to see little Jake the other day with my 3, and it was his first proper outing with, he's met a few other dogs, but not pointer dogs. So I'll insert a little bit here of him playing with our 3, and it was so interesting to watch him. To start with, he was just exuberant and wanting to play, and then he started to copy what they were doing. So as Remy went round sniffing all the hummocks, he started following Remy round sniffing all the hummocks, and if Gwynny did a big circular run, he did a big circular run, and it was just so wonderful watching him mirroring what they were doing. I've just seen a little robin arrive on the trellis. Hopefully she'll go back into the nest now and not be disturbed by me talking to you. So that was one part of my week, and another part of the week is I went to Harry Potter with my daughter and my granddaughter, the Warner Brothers Studios in North London, and had a most amazing evening up there. Excuse me. I had butterbeer, of course, and I found I am House Ravenclaw. So I have got the badge, and I've got the t-shirt. Yes, the robin's just come in the nest box. And a wonderful, wonderful time. I did put some pictures on my Instagram of us up there. We didn't have tickets till 5:30 in the afternoon, and I think we finally got home and it was 2 minutes to midnight. But the girls stayed with me here and then went on home the next day. So that was amazing. So that is all my life this week, 2 weeks getting out of the way. So I hope you haven't switched off. And I'll move on to what I've been up to, because it has also been quite knitty. I did a little bit of crochet on my canal boat, but not too much. I've been focusing on other things. One thing I have finished is the Lampast cowl, and this is by Lisa Richardson, and it's in Rowan Fine Tweed Haze. I will go through the colours now with you. These are the 4 colours I used. This is the Blue Mist version. It's a kit from Black Sheep. This colour is a lovely ash, 08 grey. This blue is called Haze. It's 014. All the pretty colours in that. This colour is Rain, 015. And this colour is Ha, 16. And I did talk about this in my last podcast. It is beautiful yarn, absolutely gorgeous. It is very, very fine underneath the fluff. So it could be quite, if you didn't pay attention, you could drop the odd stitch. It's beautifully soft. It is. I'll see if I can find the label now. Sorry, it's in my book. It is fine tweed haze, made with super fine alpaca and extra fine merino. 37% wool, 13% polyamide, 9% cotton, 4% polyester. Oh, 37% alpaca and 37% wool. Polyamide, cotton and polyester. And it is a beautiful yarn, but I'm not too sure that it was the right yarn for this, because you can hardly see the patterns, and I did go through this on my last podcast. It is a long rectangle that you then join the short edge to an edge of the long edge. You can see the patterns in there. I did shorten it. I found that some of them were quite gapey here, and I didn't want that, so I think it was a 220 odd cast on, and I think I cast on 184. It's a 4 pattern repeat with 3 extra stitches at the end, so I found a number that was divisible by that. I also towards the end here, I didn't do a second repeat of this section. To be fair, I was losing the will with it, and I just wanted it over and done with. But it is very soft, very snuggly, and I think my shortening makes it come up around the neck quite nicely. I haven't worn it yet because it's been just too beautiful weather-wise. It is a slip stitch pattern. All the patterns are slip stitches or knit pearls, so you're only using one colour at a time, even on these sections. But you can see what I mean. You have to look hard to see the actual pattern. Last podcast I did put up a picture of the other kit, which is in Summerlight, which is a nice cotton, and stitch definition on that is absolutely beautiful. You can get the pattern free on Black Sheep Wools if you want to have a go, if you want to use stash. I wouldn't recommend using a super fluffy yarn because you do lose the picture of what you're making, and it's such a shame because slip stitch is wonderful to do if you want to do colour work without the worry of colour work. This is what one to start on. So that was the Lamb Pascal by Lisa Richardson. Black Sheep will have the pattern free still at the moment. Not sure it will always be free, but you never know. So that is my only finish this week. And there is a reason for that. I did talk to you about my salty days, and I will just now put salty days on Clarice and give you a better look. So Clarice is now wearing my Salty Days. I did do as I thought I was going to do in my last podcast. I finished the body to the bottom of the pattern part here, and then I washed and blocked this half, the main body, and it did drop a little bit. So then I knew how many rows of the 3mm twisted rib I needed to do. I tried it on and I'm very, very pleased with it. You can definitely see the diamonds and the cable much better now. The rib does flatten beautifully. This is a very, very bouncy yarn. It's Rico Merino's Essential Soft Merino. Rico Essentials Soft Merino. And the colour is 102 Slate. Beautiful petrol blue. And I have done the one sleeve, and you can see the ribbing there is quite firm, scrunched in, and that will smooth out on blocking. I've done the pattern at the end. I'm just started the second sleeve. I will do again the pattern at the end, and then again, like I did with the body, I'm going to block it to see how long they are, to see how long I want the cuffs. She has in her pattern the feminine romantic super long sleeve, which is nice if you're femininely romantic and able to cope with those. But I prefer, you know, I like a 3/4 length, bracelet length, or just on the thumb. I don't like big floppy sleeves. They're not very practical with all the dogs I've got around. But this is knit so beautifully and so quickly. It's a pattern I'd highly recommend. Salty Days, Veronica Lindberg, Kutova Kika. She does do the videos. The patterns are very in-depth, so anything you need to know. Lots of people out there have knit it, so there's no problem with the pattern at all. It's a fabulous pattern. I'd recommend getting on and making one. I'm using this soft merino, which is an Aran, and I'm on a 4.5mm needle. I think hers is on a 5mm needle. I got the right tension. I'd almost contemplate going down to a 4 with this merino actually, but I'm very pleased with how it blocked. So later on I will be getting on with the second sleeve, and then I will block the sleeves. Don't need to block the body again. But the only thing I'm slightly worried about is the neck. But on Clarice it's starting to look okay actually. You do the cuffs and the welts and the collar on a 3mm, and a 3mm and an Aran makes it really quite firm. It's a twisted rib, which also adds a bit of bulk to it. But when I blocked it, it did drop quite nicely. I don't like things too strangly. I prefer having a slightly open bit. So pleased with how the body blocked. Looking forward to seeing how the sleeves block. I will get on with the second sleeve later. As you see, DPNs. I do like my DPNs. I have got that on a loop at the moment, because that is a 3mm loop. Needle, see how I get on with that. I might go back to DPNs. It's more holding than anything. I don't mind magic loop, but I do prefer my DPNs. And it's little details like this rib that comes all the way down the edge of the collar, both sides. She thinks the little things, and it's lovely. So that's Salty Days. Hello Willow, did you just help Daddy with his toast? You're a clever girl, aren't you? Did you want to get under? Go on then, under you go. Good girl. She's not going to leave me now. So There we go, good girl. That's the Salty Days, which I've been working on too. I'll move that out of the way a bit. Oh, I didn't mention what I'm wearing. This is the Galanted by Carol Feller. It was one that she did as a knit along a couple of years ago. I could probably find that in my book too. 39, 38, 39, 39 Galanta. I made this in October 2023. Calafella of Stolen Stitches. I've made it in Ard Thur by Kate Davies. This is 5004 Glameig, which is a 60% Highland wool, 40% alpaca, and it is very, very lovely. And Ard Thur is quite a weighty yarn, so it was made on 5mm needles, 4 to 5mm needles. Again, an arrow might have put, but there's these little details on both the shoulders, on the bottom of the hem. This bit comes round on the front, and then there's this bit on the back. So that's a couple of years old, and it's wearing. It's one of my go-tos. I love it over a blouse. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. All my podcast today is back to front, isn't it? I should do the live stuff at the end, and I did it at the beginning. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you. I also had a request when I was at Harry Potter the other day from my granddaughter. Could I make her a big Sloppy Joe jumper? And she's 11, and she just wants to have a big Sloppy Joe jumper in a chunky yarn. So we looked at colours and we looked at yarns, and found a yarn. She really loves green. So the yarn that she chose is King Cole Cottage Spun in this mixed bag of greens. I think this is Sunflower Fields 6008. And this is when she was little, she used to ask me to make little cardies, but she sort of went out of it. But now she's grown back into it again. Excuse me. She wants the Sloppy Joe type. She has a little 27-inch chest. So I was looking at all the children's patterns, and they never seemed to go up as big as she wanted. So with this yarn, I looked at their specific patterns and found 6248 for this actual yarn. And this is the type of pattern that she wants. So this is a ladies pattern, but the smallest size comes out at 36. So if you've got a 27 chest, that's virtually 9 inches of ease. I think that's the sort of thing that she will be happy with. Also, we are coming into summer, and this is a chunky. It's knit top down. So I've been working on this as well. Who doesn't like a knit for the grandchildren? It's very pretty. I've split for the C's. I've started the body, and I've got it on a short cable at the moment. I could measure across if I didn't have it on the cable, but it will be big enough, I'm sure. Plenty big enough. This didn't take long to knit at all. It's only an acrylic yarn, which is fine with a young child, I think. Young lady. Yeah, it's acrylic, all acrylic. 225 meters on a 150 gram ball. So I'm going to obviously make it a little bit shorter than that. I have all her body measurements, and if she had it down to there, it would be down to her knees. So I've taken all her measurements, and I will be doing this under length oversize and the sleeves. There is another pattern on the back of this pattern for a crop sleeve cable using the same yarn, and I think that is the sunflower colourway itself, which is, as you can see, how it's knitting up. But we're doing that one in this colourway. After knitting some lovely yarns, it is strange to feel acrylic, but Mum can shove it in the washing machine. It will be a summer evening throw over, take her into autumn, winter, and if she likes the fact that I'm knitting for her, I'm over the moon. So that is something I have been getting on with, because obviously we've still got some cool weather this end of the year. I'd like to get it to her sooner rather than later if possible, but it's big enough that it will take her through to next year. So I've got a chunky and an Aran, and then I decided to do another for me, seeing as I finished the Lamper's Carol and everything else. I went upstairs and had a look on my bed, actually my grandson's bed, and picked up something I cast on last year in the end of the year, but I thought it was a bit summery for doing over winter and I'd want to wear it if I finished it, and that's the Now Slight. I picked up this pattern at the Southern Wool Show 2023. Yeah, I think it was 2023. And it's by Elsie Beth Judith. I think you can see all the patterns on that. It has several options. You can do the short sleeve, you can do long sleeve, you can do the yoke pattern and a stocking stitch body. You can do the yoke patterned and the body patterned as well, which I think I'm going to go for. But saying that, I bought this at the Southern Wool Show from Blue Fern Yarns. They had a sample on the stand. This is in Yak 4-ply, which is 70% superwash machine merino, 20% yak and 10% nylon, 400 meters per 100 gram. And this is the colour Mulberry. You can see all the various gentle changes of colour, but it's a lovely rich purple, and I cast it on last year. Literally, I just cast it on, so I took that all away, started again, and I am now on the second panel of the pattern. This is the neckline, there's the eyelets, I don't know if you can see them better there, and I'm just doing another breather panel. So I'm down to this part here on the yoke, and it's made on 3.25s because it is a 4-ply. So I've gone from a Aran to a chunky to a 4-ply, and this is quite slow going, but it's making a nice airy fabric which will be lovely for summer, I think. So I'm doing a couple of rounds on that, and a few rounds on the sleeve to try and get that finished. But when I did my advent in the Blue Fern Yarns 4-ply, I held it double, so it was a double knit. And this is a different ball game altogether. You can see how fine it is. You can see through it virtually. But my tension's good, gauge is good, pattern's coming out okay. I did wind. I have a Kado electric winder. You may have seen a few bloggers have one give to them by Kado and to try out. I got one on one of the offers. It cost me £30, and I thought, oh, that's good, because you know it's going. I can wind a 100-gram skein of 4-ply in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes by hand. It takes at least 10 minutes and quite a bit of attention on the Kado. And you do get pretty patterns, but you also get yarn baths. I don't know why. I don't know why it does it. It falls to pieces. I spent an hour the other night undoing a yarn bath from it being wound by the Kado, and I was so cross that I wasn't knitting instead. So I'm very tempted to rewind it by hand on my old-fashioned ball winder. If you have a Kado, let me know how you get on with it. It is quite slow. Consider it's like when it's going along, it's almost like the battery's about to run out. It goes slower and slower, and it's plugged into the mains. But we live and learn, and I didn't pay full price for it. I had a code, and then it was on offer as well, so it cost 30 quid. Not bothered. But anyway, that's my Naus light. So 3 things on the needles: knitting, crochet. I only have my blankets underway. I think I've done another 2 rows of the canal boat. The zigzag I haven't touched. I've done quite a few more squares on my domino blanket because that's upstairs. I also used it in the car when I was going up to Harry Potter because it was easier. I have got 2 socks on the go. I couldn't take socks because I was on the heel turn and I wanted to focus on that rather than worry about driving. My daughter was driving, I wasn't actually driving. So not too much in the way of crochet underway at the moment. Definitely no sewing this week. And Angelica, you can see there, is in her spring apron. She has her little lamb with her. She's happy to have changed with the seasons with March. It's certainly very spring-like out there, even though you can hear the rain on the roof probably. Is there anything else in my book? I did have a mention by Natasha of Hooks and Stitches. Thank you very much, Natasha. That was very kind of you. If you've come over from her, I'm very grateful. Go and give her a little look. She does a couple of videos a week. Quite prolific. I think she's mostly crochet, nearly all crochet. And there's of course Marie's Yarn Journey, who's doing quite well over on her little channel. Go and give her a look. I do watch all the usual crowd, so I know quite a few of them are busy in the gardens too. I hope you're having good weather. I hope life is being kind to you, and I will hopefully get back to you towards the end of this month with some progress and the gifting. I mentioned in the last video I will be doing a gifting for going over my 1,000 subscribers. I will do the draw on here. I will not be contacting you. When I have made the draw, I will put the name on here. I will put it in the show notes below, not on this podcast, on the next podcast. And then it will be up to you to contact me. My contacts are down below. And I do not want any of you to be caught out by the scammers. So when next time comes and I podcast, hopefully towards the end of this month, don't forget, I won't contact you. You will have to contact me. But you will be announced on this channel. It's a bit of a scary business doing these giveaways, you know. Don't mention the giveaway word. Anyway, I think I'm far enough in for the bots not to find that, I hope. I am now going to make myself a fresh coffee and do a few rounds on my sleeve. It's decreases all down. Then I can get that soaking, I think, and hopefully next time you might see me wearing it, which would be lovely. And I think the garden doesn't call today because I have been busy. So definitely a home day today. Mondays is usually my, what we call the swill out manic Mondays. So I'll sneak in a couple of rounds of my sleeve now and then get on with the housework. Have a lovely week, and I will hopefully catch up with you again very, very soon. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.